The Chinese general Sun Tzu once said, victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first, then seek to win. Being a retired military officer, I love to study strategy, and I love to pass these strategies on to you to help you in this chaotic housing market. Before you even think about wasting your time in this chaotic housing market, you must, and I mean must, number one, know what you're looking for. And what I mean by that, be truthful to yourself. Playing I have a secret is not going to serve you well, especially in today's market. Just because you believe that your agent or your lender may not have your best interest at heart, if you believe that, then I have a secret for you. Find a new lender, find a new real estate agent. Because if they don't have your best interest at heart, guess what? There are plenty of other real estate agents and lenders out there for you. Because your goal is to get a home. If you have $500,000 that you can spend on a home and you want to keep it down to $300,000, $350,000, fine. Be honest about that. If you have a realtor who's continuing to send you homes at the $500,000 level because they know you can spend $500,000, again, get a new realtor. If the homes that you want don't exist, make them show their work, because that's their job. Make them do their job. If they're just trying to get a higher commission, find another realtor. There are plenty of honest real estate agents out there. I'll be honest, there are plenty of ones who just want a higher commission. You can weed them out. Trust me. There are plenty of honest people out there and plenty of people who will do the job for you. You can find them. Second thing you need to do, this is before you even step foot out there, is you need to figure out what your budget truly is and what you can afford. So it's not what you think you can afford. You have to go to a lender who can really run those numbers for you and find someone you can trust and the right loan product for you. Your real estate agent is not a lender. Your lender is not a real estate agent. You need these two professionals working together to help you out. This is the only way you're going to get what you want. This is for you, so you're not wasting your time. If you're out there just dreaming about a home, let me tell you something, you're not going to have it. I've run across this many times, and a lot of these people who are dreaming continue to dream and never have a home. The purpose of this channel is to help you find a home. It doesn't have to necessarily be with me. I know I've had a coach or two tell me I shouldn't be telling people that, but my thing is to help you find a home. And it doesn't matter who with. That is the purpose. You need to include your monthly payments. You need to find out what the closing costs are and what your cost of ownership. As far as closing cost, I did a video on that. Click here, and you can also look at the link down in the description section, and you'll be able to find that video where I went over all of the closing costs in my market. If you're not here in my market, get a hold of a trusted realtor who can do that for you. Go out and do the research. First thing you need to know, do you need $10,000? What's your down payment going to be? What is the best loan product for you? Did you know that most veterans have never used their VA loan? Why didn't they use their VA loan? Because some lenders don't know how to use it properly, so they push them into the product that they know best, or that's going to make the most money for them. A bank or a mortgage company may not charge a bunch of fees to veterans as a service, but that lender, that loan officer, may not make as much money. They make a commission just like a real estate agent. So if they're going to make half the commission, they may push you into a loan product where they make more money. Remember, take care of yourself. That's what this is all about. After you've done those first two things, now is the time to get serious and get out there and start searching for those homes. And now we're going to go over the 6 steps that you can go through before you actually start looking for homes, especially in this time, or especially if you're working with a realtor and you're out of town, or you don't want to waste your time on a weekend. Because let me tell you something, somebody steals $100 from you, you can get that $100 back. When you lose that weekend, you're never going to get it back, especially if you did not get that home. So these things are going to save you time and get you into that home even better. So let's start going through this list. Item number 1 is critically look at the pictures on your realtor's website, the MLS, or I give you permission to go to Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia. It doesn't matter. The thing you need to do is critically look at those pictures, because a lot of times the pictures are taken by professional photographers. Now, when I say a lot of times, I mean the ones that look pretty, the ones that you love. They know how to hide defects. And good realtors who know how to take photographs, they know how to hide stuff that's wrong. And they do that. They know which angles to take. They know which angles tickle those little things in your mind. Well, those things that are tickling in your mind, they should tickle the trouble features, going like, what's wrong? Why did they take it at that angle? This house is supposed to have a pool. How come they didn't show the pool? Why are there only 15 pictures, all beautiful, but this house is so great, how come there are not 40 pictures? Ask those questions. And then look carefully at the pictures. Not, they're so great. Now, I did a video, linked here again and down in the description, where people who've looked at that video have gone like, wow, I really started seeing this stuff, because it's so important. So many times I've gone out with clients and they've gone like, oh, this is the house, I just need to go see it. We're going to put in an offer. And they get to the house and they're like, this isn't the house that was in the picture. It's like, yeah, it is. They just know how to take a picture. You take them to the angles and stuff. It's like, oh, okay, I see what you're talking about. So get that done and you'll be able to see what they were trying to hide and how they hid it. Also remember, when they take those pictures, they clean that house up and then they started living again. We all know what living's like, okay? So item number 2. Now it's time to virtually test drive that neighborhood if those pictures live up to your expectations after you've critically looked at them. So when test driving a neighborhood, there are 2 things I'd recommend. One is, of course, Google Street View. So look at what that neighborhood looks like. Virtually drive that neighborhood. You can look at the dates and tell when that picture was actually taken. If the neighbor's grass was knee-high, it's probably knee-high now, because they probably don't take care of their house. If there's Trans Am on blocks in the picture, there's probably Trans Am on blocks now. You get it? Also look at Google Earth. That is another great one. Look at both of those. Look at every resource you can. This only takes a second. Don't forget to zoom out. Look at the neighborhood around you. Just because that neighborhood looks good, those neighbors are doing everything, what about that neighborhood around the corner? How do you know the neighborhood around the corner isn't the bad neighborhood? Again, I did one on this one too, went a little bit deeper down in that description. Maybe over here. Take a look at it. Now, next, this one's a little more, it's not really controversial. People will go, is this a good neighborhood? I cannot tell you what's good. A good is an opinion. You have your own. Check out the crime rate and what the schools are like. Now, one of these may go like, I don't have any children. Well, you have resale value. You have the house they're trying to buy now. Schools determine what the house is worth. I don't care that the person wants $500,000 for their house. It's a 350 neighborhood. That is determined by schools. If you want to figure out the schools, go to greatschools.org. Of course, link down below. Try to put it all in here for you. Also, U.S. News and World Report. Remember those guys? Used to have the magazine, now they're online only. They actually put out a ranking of all the high schools in the country. 23,000 high schools in all 50 states ranked, and they have their own ranking down below. Go look at it. Well, what about that crime? Well, crimereports.com, linked down below. I hate to say it. Well, since I'm not monetized or anything, what if you're worried about living next to a sex offender? Guess what? You can find out. There is a national registry for that. It's actually called the National Sex Offender Public Website. Linked below. Go there. So the houses you're interested in, you can find out all this stuff. Why go through all of the trouble of finding the perfect house, putting in an offer, and I've seen this so many times. Then you start asking the question, when you could have gone through this ahead of time and then gone like, you know what? I don't even want this house, but I could have had this house over here. So you see how you can really narrow this down and put in the right offer that you want. Next, check all the other homes in the area that are for sale and the ones that have just sold. I give you permission. If your realtor doesn't have a good website for you to go to and you don't have access to the MLS, it's according to what part of the country, you may have access directly to the MLS through your realtor. You may have an IDX site, or she, or I'll give you permission, go to Zillow, go to Trulia, go to Realtor.com, use whatever information you need. The past sales will predict a lot about that neighborhood and the prices that are going to be in that appraisal. Is the seller on crack? Some people just sit there going, well, I know my house is worth $500,000, even though the last house sold for $400,000. My house is special. You know what? Maybe it is special. Maybe they put gold bricks in the walls or something, but they've got to prove they put real gold bricks in the wall. Other than that, you can offer them $500,000. It's going to appraise for $400,000, and they're going to come back asking for $100,000 from you. Are you prepared for that? So think about these things ahead of time. Next one, neighborhood data. Do you really want to live there? There are some websites I suggest you go to. All three are listed below. First one is City Data. It provides detailed city profiles down to the community level. The next one is Area Vibes. It will give you a livability score based on either the address, the neighborhood, or the zip code. So you can actually put your address in there, and it'll give you all this information about the local community, including the livability score. And you got all that information. Take all of that stuff in. Next one, what about that walk score? I'm from New York City. I ain't got a car. I never drove in my life. Then you move someplace where you gotta have a car. Okay, wait a minute. I'll just take public transit. The nearest bus line is 1.5 miles away. Are you ready to walk 1.5 miles to take the bus? How are you gonna get to work? Did you check that? Some sites you need to think about. Google, of course, and of course Waze, W-A-Z-E, link below. Figure out what's your drive time to work and all these other places. And of course, see if there are any 360 tours available of that house. That's a really good indicator of how good a house is, in my opinion, because if they have the confidence to put a 360 tour out, they had real confidence because they weren't hiding in this corner over here to make this look bigger and all this stuff. And some of these 360 tours, especially the ones by Matterport. Now, others are out there and allow you to do this, but the ones by Matterport, I know you can do this in every one of them. You can actually measure the rooms right on the 360 tour. Talk about figuring that stuff out. So no more of this asking your realtor after you're halfway through the transaction, how big is that room really? I'm trying to figure out if I can put my bed in there. It's like, you didn't measure this stuff out? Like when we went in for the inspection and stuff, you can do all that stuff on a Matterport. If they have it, it's a really good indication when the realtor's done that. And those are some of the biggest ones. And you know what the biggest one that you have out there, and the most important one, if we haven't been properly introduced and you are living in or relocating or PCSing to the Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, or Henderson area, and you are looking to purchase a home or possibly even sell a home, and we have not been connected, just reach out to me. All of my contact information is below. And also look for my pinned comment, because I have a complimentary buyer's education class just for you.